WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight at 6. People across the nation are remembering and honoring those who were on the battlefield and sacrificed everything. Folks in Pontotoc did just that this morning at the Pontotoc County Courthouse Square. Our Cash Matlock stopped by the ceremony. He joins us in the studio with more on the story. Cash.
That's right, Andrea. U.S. Navy and World War II veteran Thomas Edward Lucas was in attendance and served as the guest speaker. He says it's important to take time every year to remember those in the military who paid the ultimate price. Dozens of people gathered at the Courthouse Square in Pontotoc to hear U.S. Navy and World War II veteran Thomas Edward Lucas speak and pay tribute to fallen members of the military.
We love celebrating our veterans, and we love, honoring them at appropriate times.
The 93-year-old spent the morning telling stories of how he joined the Navy when he was only 17. He reminisced about the men and women he met during his time in the service who are no longer here.
It gives us the chance to remember the guys that we served and are gone now, and all the heroes that went way before us since the beginning of America.
Lucas says he hopes the audience walked away with a new perspective.
We didn't get this for nothing. We had to fight for it, and we got to continue to fight every day for freedom. And you got to obey the law. And the one thing I found missing is respect. We don't have respect for our adults. We don't have respect for law enforcement. As a former chief of police, that really bothers me.
We have a good quality of life in Northeast Mississippi, especially here in Pontotoc, and it's important to understand that didn't come for free, that people sacrificed to put us in the place we're at.
The World War II vet says the world is a lot different from 75 years ago when he joined the Navy.
They realize that today we're in sad shape. Half the country is divided. We want the country to be strong like we left it after World War II.
But days like this, he says, give him hope.
Let's wake up and see the roses. This is the most wonderful country in the world.
The service wrapped up with a special wreath-laying ceremony.
American Legion Post 26 in Aberdeen hosted its own Memorial Day ceremony. This was at Oddfellows Rest Cemetery. Several dozen people, including servicemen and women and their families, gathered to listen to guest speaker Rubel West. Taps was played as well as the national anthem. There was also a flag folding ceremony to honor those who sacrificed everything in the line of duty.
We take this day to honor the fallen veterans, and today is a day that we normally do this, and what a special time it is that we can congregate together. Hopefully we have 100 people here today to help honor these fallen men and women.
And the crowd all enjoyed lunch at the American Legion Post 26 after this morning's ceremony. Well, there were songs, prayers, and a roll call, the highlight of a Memorial Day service in Ackerman. The citizens gathered at the Choctaw County Community Center to recognize the fallen soldiers from World Wars I and II, along with the Korean and Vietnam conflicts. The program also included a special welcome home to members of the 155th Brigade. Organizers say it's important to remember those who gave their lives to protect our freedom.
You look around and you don't find people now that's very patriotic. They don't even think about the soldiers that gave their lives in World War I, World War II, Vietnam.
And this is the first year the Chamber has partnered with the American Legion to host a Memorial Day program. And dozens showed up at Tubelo's Veterans Memorial Park this morning to remember those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. This annual Memorial Day program featured a playing of taps, as you just heard there, by a U.S. Marine. There were patriotic songs and the keynote by Congressman Trent Kelly. The program culminated with Kelly laying a memorial wreath at the site. Well, many of you at home remember Mark Lucas Tucker, the Pontotoc County native killed in the line of duty. His family, along with 7 others, were recognized at a Mississippi Braves game this weekend. Tucker was in the Marines and deployed to Iraq with the 9th Engineer Support Battalion. Tonight at 10 o'clock, hear from Tucker's family and why they want his legacy, along with every fallen veteran, to remain alive. We'll have that story tonight at 10 right here on WCBI. Time for a first look at our forecast. We'll turn things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Sunny and warm out there right now under a live view in downtown Tupelo with our Alpha Insurance camera network. We've got temperatures ranging from the mid-80s in Jackson to the low 90s around here. 91 in Tupelo, 88 in Starkville currently. So pretty warm, pretty humid out there, but it could always be worse. Temperature is not too bad considering where we are likely headed later on this summer, but right now still quite warm. 88 at 7 o'clock, 80 at 9, 76 at 11. Mainly clear conditions. The wind will slacken up a little bit, so it will be a little bit muggier when you get into tomorrow morning and those 70s. Great pool day coming up on Tuesday. Boy, I wish I had the day off to hit up the pool, but not bad. Just stay protected with the sunscreen. Your full forecast coming up.
Just take off, Keith.
Okay.
Well, Memorial Day weekend is the unofficial start to summer, which means that it's the kickoff for boating season. The holiday weekend is one of the busiest for boat traffic and for the Mississippi Wildlife Fisheries and Parks conservation officers. Our Dory Talley hit the 10-ton with the officers this morning to check it all out. She joins us now in the studio.
The Mississippi Department of Wildlife Fisheries and Parks officers do boating enforcement throughout the year, but Memorial Day weekend is when water activity really kicks off. In Lowndes County, it means all hands on deck, which means long days for the wildlife officers assigned to this area. Memorial Day weekend means the boats are hitting the water.
This is your first day out this weekend? Yes.
But boaters aren't the only ones making waves this holiday weekend. Conservation officers have one thing on their minds while patrolling up and down the waterway: safety.
Constant awareness, out on the water is a lot different than being out on the road. You got multiple angles people are going to be coming from, different risks, different hazards you got to be aware of. Whoever's operating that vessel needs to maintain constant awareness at all times and be considerate of other people.
That also means checking for life jackets and making sure everyone is following all laws.
We had very good compliance last year with life jackets. Not a whole lot of safety issues going on. We're very proud of everybody out there. This year we're just trying to keep that record going and make sure we have plenty of visibility out on the waterway and people are continuing to be safe.
Corporal Carol Spates says conservation officers learn something new each year the busy boating season rolls in.
One thing that I'm real big about is, if you're going to be out after dark or expect to be after dark, make sure you do a check on your navigation lights. That's one of our primary citations that come up is from it. People traveling at night, they don't check their lights beforehand, and when they get out there, turn them on, they don't work. So definitely do a function test on those before you get out on the water.
And speaking of checks, this is Private Joshua Stoll's first time patrolling the Tom Bigby during Memorial Day weekend.
Traffic count, probably. Yeah, we've not seen this. I've not seen this kind of traffic out here. Like I said, I was in Texas all last year training. So the traffic count, 42 boats on one beach, they were just packed. There was very little space. They had other boats were having to go find other beaches to put up on.
The new season brings a new danger, courtesy of the spring floods.
Well, with the flooding this year, we've seen a lot of sandbars that weren't here this time last year. So hopefully folks are taking a little bit slow. We found a couple that weren't there last year. We found some stumps that weren't there last year.
Conservation officers say they want everyone to have fun, but to stay safe while doing it. The total number of citations written this holiday weekend aren't known right now, but those numbers will be released later this week.
Well, boats aren't the only vehicles on the water this time of year. Jet skis are out also. Conservation officers say jet ski safety is just as important as boat safety. Officers want to remind riders to wear their life jackets and to make sure owners have their watercraft registered. Jet skis are the smallest power craft out on the water this time of year other than kayaks. That's why officers want to stress the need for people to know how to operate jet skis before getting on them. By the way, jet skis are a personal watercraft and they are treated as a registered vessel. Well, it's almost summer and families are, of course, firing up the grill. A Tupelo man has crowned himself king of the grill. We stopped by Ron Thompson's house today. He says he's been honing his grilling skills the past 25 years. He begins his cookout preparation, he says, with his secret barbecue sauce. Thompson says his loaded potato casserole, Greek salad, and 5 meat baked beans are crowd favorites at his house. As for the meats, he says he grills everything from burgers to bologna.
This is the one time of the year that I really look forward to getting the grill going. I take my grills and the skills to another level. I just try to do something different. But all my family and friends coming to put a lot of love into my cooking, into my grilling, and that way it makes it very, very special.
And Thompson tells us this Memorial Day is extra special. He's honoring his father, who served in the military, whom he lost last October. Drivers in Lowndes County may have to plan ahead before the morning commute. Coming up, how long a stretch of Old Highway 182 will be closed.
You're watching WCBI's News at 6 with Andrea Self.
Welcome back. A mobile home is destroyed after a fire this morning in Lowndes County. The good news, no one was injured in the blaze. It broke out around 6 o'clock at a home on Lodge Street in Crawford. Lowndes County Fire Coordinator Neil Austin tells WCBI a neighbor passing by saw these flames. When firefighters got to the scene, the home was already fully involved. Austin says the homeowner was at work when it happened. The home is a total loss. The cause of that fire is still under investigation. Well, heads up for drivers in Lowndes County. A part of Old Highway 182 will be closed for a while due to a bridge project. The Mississippi Department of Transportation is closing part of the highway starting tomorrow. It will last through August 20th. The bridge replacement will be closing Old 82 between Beatty Road and Mount Vernon Road in Lowndes County. A detour will be in place using US 82 and State Route 50. MDOT is advising drivers, of course, to use extra caution when highway workers are present. All right, motorcycle lovers, listen up. There we go. An area group is hosting a Golden Triangle ride for a good cause. The Cryptic Few is hosting an event they're calling Tammy's Ride. It's to help pay for camp this summer at Camp Rising Sun in Lowndes County. Tammy Prescott is a Lowndes County deputy who is battling cancer herself, but she spends every summer at Camp Rising Sun volunteering. This camp is for children who are facing their own battles against disease, a way for them to take a break and go to camp for a week during the summer. This big ride is going on this weekend. It's a day those involved, including Tammy, say they are looking forward to.
You know, when you can do things for people that you know, and you can help out a good cause like that, so it's a little more personal.
God always provides in His own way, and these guys have done a lot of work, a lot of preparation to do this, and I just know that we're going to have a wonderful turnout.
The ride at the American Legion, that's where it starts, at the American Legion on Chubby Drive in Columbus, and will go across the Golden Triangle. Registration starts at 8:30 Saturday morning. There will be food, music, and a lot of fun. Even if you don't have a motorcycle, you're still invited to come out for the fun.
Lots of sun, lots of heat across the deep south right now. We've got temperatures well into the 80s and 90s. The heat index even higher than that. And we stay warm for a while around here. Just a few rain chances to talk about. More on that after the break.
WCBI First Alert AccuWeather Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
All right, live view in Tupelo right now, 6:17 on our Memorial Day. Look at all that sunshine. You can just sense the heat. You can just sense summer, right? It's here officially in a few more weeks, but right now it just feels like summer. Louisville, Mississippi, Durham's Pharmacy too. There's been a bit of a breeze out there, so it hasn't been that bad. The humidity not as bad as what it could be, but it's still warm. It's still plenty humid out there. That's Columbus. We've got a temperature at GTR 89 degrees, Memphis 87, Jackson, Mississippi 86, Tupelo 91, Starkville 90. Again, upper 80s, low 90s around here. It feels like 97 in Tuscaloosa, 86 the actual air temperature in Jackson, 85 in Mobile and in Gulfport right now. Plenty of humidity here across the deep south, and it's going to stay muggy for a little while longer, probably quite a while longer as we get into the end of the month of May and as we get into your official summer month. So let's just say this, it's going to be very quiet tonight, pretty mild, lows down to around 70 degrees, give or take. Some of you will get down into the upper 60s. Winds will be slackening off just a little bit. At 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, 71 degrees by noon, already pushing 90, if not 90. We're going to go with about 89. 93 our forecast high for our Tuesday, 88 early. Tomorrow evening, winds from the south and southwest at about 5 to 15 miles per hour. Not really a lot of action around here today, but there have been some showers and storms in Georgia and in Florida, but things are pretty dry here underneath that big dome of high pressure. Very active up here in Indiana right now. There's Chicago, big time storms rumbling east of Chicago right now. Still some active severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings at this time. All these little red dots here in Illinois and Iowa, even southern Minnesota. That's where some tornadoes were spotted today, also here in northeastern Colorado, a long ways away from us, and that's the way it's going to be as long as high pressure is hanging on out. So we'll have a partly cloudy type day, warm and humid for our day Tuesday. Same story into our Wednesday. The best chance for any moisture tomorrow and Wednesday to our northwest, so we'll be watching that, but close but no cigar it would appear. As we get into our Thursday, there will be a front. Look at that, it gets closer and closer, and it just fizzles as it comes on in here, but it may produce a little bit of a shower or storm, something like that by Thursday. Here's tomorrow's forecast into the low 90s in most spots. Your AccuWeather 70 forecast shows 93 tomorrow and Wednesday, 90 Thursday, 89 Friday, a slight chance for a shower storm there, just 20%. Pretty dry for the weekend, but still hanging out around 90. There's your forecast. More of the show after the break.
WCBI Sports with Tom Ebel is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
Playoff baseball returns to Dudy Noble Field. Mississippi State earning the second national seed in program history and could be hosting until Omaha. The Bulldogs headline the Starkville Regional as the 6th overall seed nationally, welcoming Miami, Central Michigan, and Southern to town. Mississippi State set to face Southern in Game 1 on Friday, a noon first pitch. The Diamond Dogs checking out the field from Dudy Noble earlier today. The Starkville Regional is matched up with the Stanford Regional. That includes Stanford, UC Santa Barbara, Fresno State, and Sacramento State. The road to Omaha begins in Starkville. Head coach Chris Lemonis says the Bulldogs will need home field advantage with the teams coming to town.
A good bracket, a hot Southern team that can really hit. Central Michigan's had an unbelievable year, and then Miami's always Miami, and they've had a new run here since they've got a new head coach, and they've played very well. So we got our work cut out for us.
If we play our baseball, I'd like to see the team that beats us. You know, it's not a cocky piece. It's more along the lines of when we play our baseball, I think we're the best team in the country. You know, we're deep on the mound. We can hit. We play good defense, but that doesn't mean we're going to roll out here and play well. You know, we just got to slow things down a little bit, kind of get back to us here at home, and really get locked in on this regional.
That's what's great about this team this year. I think the depth is unreal. We have a lot of freshmen stepping up now. Sarantola came out and threw really well. Brandon Smith showed that he can really perform in a big environment. So, you know, we're excited. We're excited how deep this postseason run can go just with the depth we have.
Thanks to its SEC tournament run, Ole Miss is awarded with playoff baseball in the friendly confines of Swayze Field. The Rebels at the top of the Oxford Regional, joined by Illinois, Clemson, and Jacksonville State. Ole Miss begins its road to Omaha at 7 p.m. against the OVC baseball tournament champions from Jacksonville State. The Rebels were named the 12th overall seed and will host an NCAA regional for the 9th time in program history. Head coach Mike Bianco and company hope the momentum from the conference tournament run propels the Rebels to a deep run in June.
It's about playing well. You know, people can talk about all the matchups they want and how everything shakes out, you know, as far as the bids, but at the end of the day, it's about playing well. And I know it sounds like coaches speak, but it's really the truth. If you're good enough, if you play well, the rest will take care of business.
Right. I think the SEC tournament just kind of puts things in the right line for us. You know, we can beat anybody at any time, and we just have to be consistent and believe, like Cooper and Coach B were saying yesterday. And I think we have the talent to do that.
A big day for Ole Miss athletics. Ole Miss has named Deputy Athletics Director and former basketball All-American Keith Carter as its interim athletic director. Carter takes over after Ross Bjork took the athletic director position at Texas A&M last week. Carter has been a part of Ole Miss athletics department since 2009. That's it for sports. We'll have Alaska forecast coming up right after the break.
All right, here's our 7-day forecast. Warm, humid. Chance for a little bit of rain later this week, but rain pretty sparse here for the last couple of weeks. Same story this week. There you go.
There you go.
That's it. I'm done.
All right, so a lot of people still out remembering on this Memorial Day, so it'll be a nice evening for the rest of those events. Enjoy the rest of your Monday.